Hey, everybody, this is Bren from The Second Look, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Tobias Hermansen. Tobias, nice to
Hey,
meet you.
nice to meet you too. I'm excited.
Great, great. So, yeah, we want to hear about you and your experiences in filmmaking, anything that you've learned along the way, any goals you have you want to share, all the good stuff. So, let's start. Like, what was the thing that got you into filmmaking?
All right. So I've always kind of wanted to be a YouTuber first.
Okay.
So then I started uploading, and at the side of that, I've always liked movies, casually watching. I watched all of the Marvel movies and going to the cinema like at least every month before. And then I don't know, like two, three, I began like doing more and more YouTube with like movie reviews and a
Okay.
lot of like those type of things. And then what really got me like hooked on what like filmmaking really is today is I was doing like kind of sketches and some funny comedic thing. Think of it like SNL
Uh-huh.
before like every review. So I remember the first one I did was for Creed 3, which is a great movie.
Okay.
I did I dressed up as like a boxer type thing, and then I green screened myself into the ring, which was just yeah, very
Right.
stupid but very fun.
Yeah.
And then I then really got like more dramatic with the sketches and more film making things. I used green screen a lot, but then I used like real environment and then yeah, more cinematic. And then I started also going to the cinema more, which then I watched like a movie about twice a week in cinemas. So that just elevated a lot of the filmmaking aspect in me because,
Right.
well,
Because now you were doing it.
movies just are such like an art that really captivates me, and really I just find it so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm struggling to find words. Oh my god.
Okay.
So yeah, like it got more cinematic. Then I started doing more like scripts, actual scripts. So
Mm.
that is like kind of the beginning of it. And then I started writing my own movie, one short film, and then I expanded that. So that's kind of like the start of everything,
Yeah.
how it went down.
Okay. That's awesome. Yeah, it seems like a very organic process, right? You're a film fan. You're just like I guess everyone going to the movies, and you have that kind of that maybe quote unquote normal relationship with movies. But then you start doing videos, you start getting into the process, and suddenly your interest in maybe how the movies are made, and you're looking at you're watching more, you're observing more, looking into the craft, kind of applying those lessons to your own work.
Yes.
And yeah, I like how it's kind of evolving constantly into what you're writing now. You're doing your own videos. You're making them more cinematic as you go. Okay. So you mentioned SNL is the most more comedic, but you're saying maybe you're getting into more dramatic work.
I started very like comedic, very stupid fun, I guess. But then as the time went, I did more like almost like short films in before every review. So I it went like very different camera angles, real life locations, a story, sometimes not ending, but sometimes did. And well, I don't do them anymore. But looking back at it, I see how it like started my career on
Yeah,
how yeah on the filmmaking aspect.
I you're not alone. I feel like so many filmmakers when they first start, um, they're doing it for fun, or maybe they're doing it, just for a laugh. I know for me personally, my dad and his friends when they were, I don't know, early 20s, late teens, early 20s. They would make kind of funny little joke movies just to kind of amuse themselves. They weren't filmmakers. They weren't trying to do anything with those things, but they kept them. And I got my hands on them. And I'm like, what is this thing that my dad and his friends were doing? And it inspired me to, with my friend, to start making silly, jokey movies. We would use action figures. We would do fake commercials. We did a fake episode of Saved by the Bell. And that's kind of where just that for us, and it sounds like you're the same, like that's where that interest starts, but then it starts to take on a little bit more of a real, like this isn't just fun, like this is kind of starting to become a passion. Would
Yeah.
you agree with that?
Yes. When that, yeah, I
Okay.
would do.
And so have you gone to film school? Have you taken classes? Are you watching YouTube videos? Like, how are you educating yourself, or just watching movies? What's your approach?
So I'm very young, so I haven't actually been to film school yet. I do want to get in. I'm 17 years
Oh,
old,
okay.
so there's still a little bit of a time before I can go to it. But for my school, I do go to like media production school.
Okay.
So it's yeah, we specialize in like doing videography and yeah, photography, videography, and all of that. So that helped me also learn a lot inside the movie industry. But mostly it was just like YouTube and a lot of just self learning on the internet, looking up how to do that, looking how what is that, and yeah, a lot of YouTube.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how.
Okay. It's amazing what is available for people today to educate themselves. YouTube is revolutionary in that aspect. For me, it was laser discs and the director's commentary on DVDs, also as a way to kind of be learning outside of any sort of formal education. So that's great. And I think there's a lot of great resources out there. I'm curious. So you're saying at the school you attend now,
Yes.
and it has a media class, or it's an actual media production school?
It's technically just a class, yeah,
Okay.
but we have it for most of the week, the 8 days. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow. Okay. And 17, that's awesome because you're getting a head start. You're gonna hit the ground running when you get to film school. It sounds like you said you wanted to go film school. Once you get there, you're gonna be you're gonna have a head start. It's gonna be great.
yeah.
Where are you located?
I'm from Norway,
Okay.
actually. So Europe.
Great. Now, I'm always excited to talk to people outside of America because I have a pretty good understanding of what film school and what film like productions outside of school look like. What's it like in Norway for film? Is it a big is there an industry? Is there like maybe a film school you have in mind?
Yeah. So we do have a lot of things like a lot of famous directors who does films like Tommy Wirkola, which is Norwegian. He did Violent Night from 2022, David Harwood. So that's like huge for us. And there's a lot of like Norwegian movies out there. And we have like a sponsor thing that we can apply to if you want.
A
And
grant, right?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that like sponsor and thing. So it is a large media, but I would say Norwegian film does have like kind of specific rules to it, which normally everything does, but there's really hard to actually do films here because you have to be within the type of rule. But what I like to do is just go outside of that rule, break every rule of that,
Yeah.
and try go more into like American style and other styles of movies. So that's about it.
When you mean like the rules and like is it like unions? Like here we have unions, meaning like an organization that helps get people jobs, make sure they get paid, help them find work. There's certain rules that the productions have to obey. Is that what you mean by like the rules and trying to you have to be a part of that system? Is that what that means?
Somewhat, yes.
Okay.
I'm a little bit unsure if we do have like type of unions. There probably is,
Mm,
but I'm a little bit unsure about that.
okay.
But there's definitely like some sort of, like I said, ground rules, like some
Yeah.
sort of things to do to get into the industry. So it's kind of like hard to actually get to this industry and be big here.
Okay. Right. So yeah, there's a similar thing here in America, especially like in Hollywood. It's somewhat difficult to get in, but then you have all kinds of options outside of that people are pursuing all the time. Sounds like you are too. So making your own productions, putting projects together by yourself outside of outside of that system. Do you have collaborators?
And no, not really. I tend to work with either family, friends, and then collaborating, I guess, with my school
Okay. Classmates?
and also like the teachers and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you've got people at your disposal, and it obviously helps. Friends and family are great. I've been there myself. They come through in a pinch, when you need somebody. I know I used my younger siblings in a couple projects, and it's great. But yeah, films, the other students you have, and especially once you get into film school, those are going to be really important connections that you have to get things done, because as you know, any sort of media creation production requires more than one person,
Yeah.
collaboration.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's also why I want to go to film school. I do know probably most of the things that they are going to teach, but I just want like the equipment, the connection, and I'm just searching for connections all the time.
Yeah, that's very smart, because yeah, you need that network, you need those people. It'll be nice to use their equipment, and to I think to get the experience of working in that mode. I think they will provide you, hopefully, with more knowledge that you don't already have.
But
But
yeah,
yeah, but working, yeah, it's there's only like a handful of things, reasons why you really should go to film school. Some people, it's like networking, learning how to use the equipment, the experience, sometimes a degree if you come out of there with a degree. So some people need all of those things. Some people only need one or two of those things. But yeah, it could be very valuable in the long run. It sounds like you've got already a good sense of what you need to get out of film school. Like you have a plan, you know what you're looking for, and that's good. You can make it your own. You can kind of custom make your film school experience, which will be valuable for sure. So there is a film school you have in mind that you're aiming for?
yes, there is one about 4 hours away from me where I live, so I do have to move to there, which will suck. But yeah, I definitely do have that in mind. It's free, and yeah, so it's great.
Film school is free?
Yeah, a lot of things is free in Norway. Healthcare, film school, just a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. That is, as you probably know, that is not the case in America.
Yeah.
Both of those things are not free at all. So that's really fantastic, and that's a real deterrent, for a lot of people here, is the cost of film school, because it can be tens and tens of thousands of dollars. You'll have to get student loans that you're going to spend years paying. I'm still paying my student loans back. So that's fantastic, and I'm really happy that that's there for you, because really, you know, giving you that kind of green light to just pursue it. Like there it seems like, other than the the inconvenience of having to move, everything else is set up for you to take advantage of. Oh, I was going to ask you something. I'm forgetting. Okay. So what do you want to do? It sounds like you're doing your own productions. You're writing, you're directing, you're editing. you're producing. Is there an area that you want to pursue more than the others? Let's start with that.
Yeah. So I mostly want to direct and screenwrite. That's mostly what I want to do, which I do a lot. And screenwriting, I definitely do like almost every day, just typing little things and planning things. So it's yeah, I think they are just so super fun to do, and that's what I want to focus more. I do editing, I do production design, everything I do self, and that can be very that can be a lot. But then with a team behind it, that would be just like gold, pure gold.
Right. I mean, yes, having a team is fantastic because yeah, wearing so many hats on any even like even just a quick little short you're making on the weekend or something with your friends and your family, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to run the camera, they don't know how to do the
Yeah.
lights or anything like that. So it's all you. So that can be a lot. But as you probably know, you getting all that experience working in all those areas is going to make you a better writer and director. So definitely take advantage of that situation and try to kind of practice all of that because yeah, it's going to make you a stronger filmmaker overall. Someone like James Cameron, who did a bunch of jobs, behind the scenes, VFX, production design, then allows him to know what everyone's job is on set and to be able to communicate to them like in their language, like for lighting, right? Or for production design or something. So definitely take take that experience and value it because it's going to serve you later. Even though it's a pain to have to do everything now, it will pay off later. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I do agree. Like you said, just knowing how to speak others' language in set is just amazing.
Yeah, right. Because you don't have a lot of time, right? You have to be able to communicate efficiently on set to clearly explain, especially if you're the director, what you're looking for. And if you're just like if you're vague about it, make it look kind of like this. I don't know, and then that's not efficient. But yeah, learning the vocabulary, learning the language, and being able to communicate efficiently. These are all skills that you're gonna need on set. Okay, so what kinds of movies are you looking to write and direct?
I vary a lot. My first film was a very drama heavy film, but I do love horror, as you can see behind me. Uh,
You're a face hugger.
yeah, I have a lot of horror things around my room, so
Mm-hmm.
I do absolutely love that genre. So I do kind of want to try getting into that space. I do have like a film in mind about a Norwegian urban legend that I've actually written the whole thing and I'm ready to go almost. But and that is like very horror-ish type of folklore horror, which I'm just so excited to do. And I think more, I do want to try like a lot of different genres. I have one movie that I have begun to shoot and do some production design on, which is based on like this type of weird aesthetic. I would call it like an adventure sci-fi film almost. It's like dream core type of aesthetic. It's very weird, very vibrant, and yeah, I just want to experiment mostly with a lot of genres, but I think I do want to move a little bit over to the horror genre
Yeah,
because that is just my language.
yeah. I'm with you. I love horror. It's my favorite genre as well, and it's the I think seems like to me at least the most fun to do. Uh, it's uh, yeah. There's and it's in some ways it's kind of the easiest. There's you can do a lot with a dark room. You don't even need lights. It just needs to be dark. You put some music on it, and it's scary. I'm curious about your this other sci-fi adventure project. You said it's like Dreamcore. I've never heard that phrase. What are some movies that you're like would be equivalent that kind of follow in that same style?
Would say like the aesthetic of maybe Edward Scissorhands would be a great one. Toys from 1992.
Hmm.
would be a fantasy example. What else? The one scene from Barbarian, which was like the one with I don't remember that movie at all now, almost, but
Okay.
yeah, it's the one scene where it's like vibrant, like it's almost like there's it's it's empty, but it's something that just feels off, and that's kind of like the aesthetic.
Is this like what's the there's a new subgenre with like empty rooms, like back rooms, right? Is that
Yeah, back rooms. Yeah,
kind of like that?
type.
Okay.
Yeah, type of back rooms, liminal space,
Yeah.
that type of like a- aesthetic, vibrant, weird. This sir. Oh God, what's the word
Surreal.
again? So yeah, thank you. It's yeah, surreal.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of the aesthetic of it. I would, yeah, it's like a sci-fi fantasy, at least fantasy. I have like this figure, and motion figure, which I built. So it's going to be a stop motion film, and the figure has like an eye as his head. So it's
Okay.
very like weird. I got this. One of my friends told me it's like Tim Burton-ish.
Huh. That's what I was just thinking. You mentioned Edward Scissorhands, like Tim Burton toys, but a little scarier, a little more surreal. Okay. Well, I mean, you've got me signed up. I'm ready to watch this thing right now. And this is a short film.
Yeah. I think it's about like 4 minutes,
Okay.
and we'll be releasing sometimes this year,
Awesome.
hopefully.
Okay, so when you said production design, you're building like the sets
Yeah.
for the yeah, wow.
Sets, the figures, basically everything,
Okay.
which I've done a little bit of, but it's there's still a lot to do,
Sure.
especially with the stop motion.
Yeah, I did one stop motion project in school, but it was not with any figures. It was just painting. I was just like making a painting, and it was kind of like coming yeah, it was like painting itself basically. That was the easiest way of me thinking I could do stop motion because moving a figure or figures around, that sounds like a lot of work. Have you done that before? Have you tried it?
Never, never
Okay.
at all. I just want to just try it. If it fails, it fails. But yeah,
That's the attitude, right? Because everything at some point, everything is unknown. You have to just do it to figure it out, to see how it works. And that's a good attitude, I think. And trying it on 4 minutes sounds like nothing, but with stop motion,
yeah,
that's a lot of work. So, but it's good that it's still a shorter project, just to almost like a test to see how it works. I think that's very smart.
yeah. If I was going to do a feature film with stop motion first time, I don't think that would work at
Yeah,
all.
no, not at all. I mean, and this is something I recommend all the time to people, especially getting started. Is to you're to not bite off too much that you can't chew. Like, you try to tackle. You have this big idea. It's really exciting. You have all these ideas. But can you afford it? Do you have all the resources to actually do it? Do you have the time? Do you have the equipment? And then you get kind of bogged. You kind of put yourself under so much pressure because now you have this huge project that you're trying to chip away at. And then you get disheartened, you get frustrated, and then you maybe just give up on it. And it's very easy to do that. I appreciate your strategy. Smaller projects, because then it's achievable. And once you get that project done, that gives you so much more momentum. Finishing a project, tons of momentum, and then straight into the next one. And then you just kind of build it up from there.
Yeah, yeah. I've only done like short films yet, and this will actually be my second if you don't count like the sketches. So yeah, that's what I want to do. I just want to keep pumping the short films out, and when I have the resources, when I have the things I can, then I want to try to do a feature.
Yeah. Yep, that's very smart. I think you're setting yourself up very well. I can tell you're very thoughtful about what you're doing, how you're going to get to where you want to go, and being also reasonable about that. Because again, when you're young and idealistic and you have all these ideas and you have all these goals and dreams and you think big and it's all good, but honestly, the journey there is a much smaller steps to get there. So I'm happy to hear that you've already figured that out at 17. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm surprised myself.
Okay. Let's see. How about film festivals? Are you planning on submitting these shorts to festivals, or is that the goal? Are you just going to publish it online because that's obviously an option as well?
Yeah, so I do want to try to go for festivals. I have actually submitted my first short film, which is called Mentally Unavailable, to some random festivals because why not? It's free. It was free festival, so why not? And then like probably like 2 days after I did that, a film festival reached out to me and they wanted to give me like a discount to if you wanted to submit to ours. They really liked my film. They wanted me to do that, so I did. So I do have the first short film I made trying for film festivals, and then I'm unsure about my next project, like the weird like stop motion film, which is called Dreamscape. I probably will send it to some film festivals, probably like animation film festival. I do know my local cinema is hosting an animation festival, so that is definitely one I do want to try out for.
That's awesome. Yeah, right. Be that's those are the two things that I are is great advice for anyone submitting to festivals, local or local-ish, right? Not just because, well, for a couple reasons. One is they like local. Most festivals want to support local productions and filmmakers. Sometimes they even have a special category for that in America it'd be like from if you're from that state or whatever, they want you to submit. They want to showcase the local community's work, so you have a better chance of getting in there. But then also genre specific festivals. You have an animated film, you're looking for an animated animation festival, and that's another way to increase your chances of getting in. So that's great. Yeah, happy to. It's cool that your first film is already out there and that people are responding to it. How has the submission process working for you? Is it difficult? Is it frustrating?
Not really. I do use the Film Freeway or free. Yeah, I think this Freeway
Yeah,
website, so it's very easy. Actually, just 2 clicks. So I haven't got accepted yet. I don't think. Last time I checked, but they will hopefully give
yeah,
me a chance.
of course. Fingers crossed.
Yes,
Good luck. Is that first film? Is it online anywhere?
yes, on my YouTube channel and my production company YouTube channel.
Okay, great. Well, do you mind if we include that link in the
Go
video
for it.
description for people?
Go for it.
Great. I want to check it out. But one thing that I want to follow up on that is that sometimes you may have experienced it, you may have encountered this. Sometimes festivals don't want to show movies that are on online because why would someone go, to their festival when everything that they have in the festival is they can watch at home on YouTube? So have you seen any of that in like the submission rules for any festivals? Because it could be kind of a deal breaker for people, and I think people don't realize that sometimes they finish it, they get really excited, and they just put it on YouTube because they want to show people, and then they start submitting to festivals, and then they might encounter a festival that says, sorry, like this is we don't show things that are online.
Yeah,
Have you seen
I've
have you seen
I've
that?
definitely seen that in the rules, but the ones I've submitted to did not include that in the rules. So I was just, why not? Sure, but definitely a lot of the like I've seen it on the a lot of the top paying type of film festivals, and I definitely get that. But yeah, I also kind of did that. I was excited to just put it out, so I just put it out. I did have a release date on it, and I hosted a kind of big event, a big
Yeah.
big event for it with my friends and live stream it to YouTube. So that was fun, but definitely I've definitely seen it, but I was lucky that the film festival I submitted to didn't have that.
Yeah. That's good. Tell me about this first film that you've already made. What was maybe give us a quick like summary of it, but also I wanna know like what was the biggest challenge, the biggest obstacle that you had to overcome to complete it?
Yeah, so basically, this film is about my story, my actual experience with depression, and how I overcome it. So that's basically the film, how I
It's a
overcame
drama.
the thing. Yes, it's a fully drama film,
Okay.
which I'm surprised people liked because I did not. I actually did not like it. But I put it out, just let go of that project, and people really liked it, which I
Mm.
was like, which film did I watch? But yeah, because the script was all over the place. That was like the first actual movie script I've wrote. So it was just random ideas, and almost the entire film is not what it was on the paper. So it was a lot of improvised thing.
Mm.
And I did definitely bite off something more than I
Really
had
get you.
to, yeah, because I had so many ideas, I had a lot of things, and did not have the resource to do it.
But you did
But
it anyways.
yeah, I did it, managed to do it. But yeah, definitely the script was all over the place. Like, also, sorry, cameraman, but you were too harsh on me. I didn't feel like I could act a lot because I also act in the project.
Okay.
And I feel like I didn't have a lot of creative freedom, even though I kind of did. But yeah, and then about like a month before the film release, I was still editing it, and then I don't remember what happened, but I lost everything, all of the files. But luckily, one day after, I found it on an old laptop I had, so
Wow.
I was like, that was so relief. But like,
Yeah.
I just lost everything the day before. Uh, so yeah,
That's
there's a lot of challenges during that film.
okay. Yeah, those are some good ones. I want to kind of go through those individually. First, I guess we'll work backwards here. And the lesson you learned then is to make backups of your footage,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Now I do like 50 backups.
We learned that the hard way. Yeah, I've been there myself. So I want to go back to what you were saying about the cameraman. So you had someone operating the camera, and you're saying like their process was kind of conflicting with what you were asking them to do.
Mostly like I felt kind of judged while around him, even
Okay.
though he's my friend, which is
Okay.
not good. But he's impatient.
Mm.
I'm sorry if you're watching this.
Yeah.
But so that definitely didn't help a lot. So we just had to like shoot that and then be done with it. And that I could definitely see that in the project where that comes from, which luckily the other people didn't. But yeah, definitely was impatient. I felt judged, so I was like, I couldn't really dig into the film, but it turned out somewhat decent.
Yeah, it sounds like people enjoyed it. But no, that's a really common issue that people have with working together, right? Working with it's the necessary evil. You need people to work with to make these projects. But then if there's an ego problem, if someone is trying to like impose themselves on the project, even though it's your vision, you're the director, but you have a cameraman or a producer or someone else, an editor who feels like what their opinion is better, or there's a number of reasons why there could be conflict there. And it's hopefully sounds like it was a rough experience, but hopefully again that you learned something from that. You were able to take that experience and then maybe you'll be able to apply it, to future projects. Like, I guess the lesson might be is to find someone who you can have a conversation with, how you can kind of come together on, like, you can explain. In this case, if we could go back in time, you could say, I really want patience from you. Like, I really want to dig into this material. If I want to do like 10 takes because I'm not there, like, I want you to, support me and be patient with me. Those expectations, if you set those maybe sooner than later, sooner meaning before production, then maybe you can kind of compromise and kind of get what you want. And then the relationship on set can be a little bit smoother, because as you probably experienced, when you're on set and you're the actor also, so you're trying to focus, you're trying to be an actor, but you're also trying to be a director, and you have this person kind of causing difficulties for you, bring conflict into it. So that's a lot. But so congrats on pushing through it, on dealing with it, completing it, finding the footage, putting it out there. And then, yeah, again, I want to go back to what you're saying, like how you didn't like it. You didn't think it was very good. Everyone else did. Again, I feel like that happens 90% of the time, because and what you're saying, like, I know maybe you're talking about more about like improvising dialogue and stuff on set, but the same process, like what's on the page versus what you actually end up with, is almost never the same. So that's another skill. That's another like reality that you have to deal with, is to be open to that process, because it's going to happen. You can't get so hung up on what you wanted, and because what you get is what you get, and you kind of have to roll with it. So tell me more about that. Like, did you feel, I guess, what was it about the original idea versus the final product that's different, and like maybe how that happened?
So I I wanted to tell a lot of like actually my experience, like things I remember. So that's like what is on the page. Like a lot of things that I remember doing, a lot of things that I used to do, a lot of things like that. And then on the actual film, I had to like improvise a lot of scenes where it didn't actually happen like that, but I know other people have experienced that exact same thing. That is a lot of the different things. There's a whole scene that was cut out from that I wanted to include, but way too difficult because I had like, I think it was like 15 extras and
Mm.
then one actor and me. So that was just a big no-no that did not go. So I had to cut that out. Just a lot of the different things I had in mind never got it into the actual movie.
Okay, you show up, you have this plan, but then it's not going to work. You've got all these extras. It's too difficult. Or did you shoot it and then decide it wasn't working, and then you cut it?
We did actually just like do a lot of planning beforehand. We realized then that's not going to work,
Okay.
and then we did shoot a little bit of it, and then we realized the other thing doesn't work, so we shot it again, and then just a lot of difficulties there, and especially with one of the last scenes, like I said, with like 15 extras, we realized pretty quickly, like after we shot the scene with not without, but like what we would cut in and out from,
Mm-hmm.
we realized like this ain't working. This ain't going to work. We don't have 15 people that can turn up.
Okay. All right. So what did you learn? What's the takeaway? One of the takeaways from that project, like that you're gonna take with you going forward.
One thing is, especially with the script, try to be recent with it. The early draft probably just go all wild and just go everything you want, but then like the next draft and stuff like that, just try to do more reasonable things.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm definitely wanted to do. I definitely want to get, like you said, like people need patience with me and a lot of that. Definitely a big thing. I also learned like a lot of like cinematic tricks, like lighting. The next film, Dreamscape, I will say it also has a live action bit in it, and I've shot it already, and it's looking just amazing.
Good.
So I'm just so excited for that, and definitely like the cinematography is better. Like just a lot of the things have been just better with this project than yeah my first.
That's awesome. That's great to hear, and I always love to hear that, because if you're not learning from your previous projects and applying those lessons to your current and future projects, then you're missing an opportunity, to really enhance your abilities, to hone your craft and such. So I'm glad that you were able to do that as well. And I really like what you said about writing the first draft being like an anything goes, like any idea, if whatever, you're kind of like opening yourself up to whatever the story could be, putting it all down, but then taking taking the writer hat off, putting on the producer hat, and being like, okay, can we actually do any of this? Can we shoot here? Can we do that? Do we have this thing? And then rewriting with that in mind, because like we were saying before, like if you can't actually do the thing, if you can't actually complete it, if it's not feasible, or you're setting yourself up for not failure, but just a more difficult time. And there's so many obstacles already just built into the process. You shouldn't be adding more yourself. Um, so, well, that's awesome, Tobias. Thank you so much for sharing all that stuff with me. I'm really excited for you. I can't wait to watch this first film. I'm really interested in the second film, so please send us a link when it's done, so we can share it as well. Excited for you to go to film school. I think you're gonna have a blast. I think, like I said before, I'm really glad to hear that you have a kind of a plan for what you're looking to get out of it, because that's, a lot of people don't. They just think, I'm just gonna go to film school and to see what happens, or I'm gonna go to film school because that's what I'm supposed to do, right?
Mm.
That's what it's the only thing I know what to do, and you just kind of show up, and then it will inevitably take some time to really for you to settle in, to really figure out what you're looking to get out of it, what you're interested in, what positions or roles you're looking for, you want to focus on. So I think your chances of success, a successful experience in film school are high. So keep us in touch. Welcome to the Second Look family. We're gonna be following you through all of this, and yeah, thanks for your time.
No. It's all my pleasure, man. It's all my
All
pleasure.
right, all right. We'll talk to you later, Tobias. Take care.
See you, man.